All right, it is 9:30. Time for a Friday Night Hangout. This is where we grab a brew, shoot the breeze, and interact with you live on the internet. Good panel tonight. We're all drinking beer. We all started early, and that's always a good thing. Let's start with the round of intros here, and as people get settled in, we'll let everybody know how the Hangout operates. Let's start off in Dartmouth. We got Dan with us tonight. Good evening, Dan.
Saturday. Oh, it's Friday. Okay, replace that part, yeah. Hey, everyone.
And let's switch over to Wallace, Nova Scotia. We got Keith, KeithElliottStone.com. How's it going, Keith?
Good here. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Flipping over to Cape Breton, Carrie with us tonight. How's it going, Carrie?
We are 5x5, live on the interweb.
All right, 5x5, watching some Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Good stuff. In Halifax, we got Krista with the bitesizetravel.ca. How's it going, Krista?
It's good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. And of course, I am also in Halifax. Ah, the great Friday night, non-long weekend Friday night. Just a reminder,
It's
folks.
so gross. Having to work so many days.
Yeah.
You know, a 4-day work week. I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, but could it be 3?
So we got a number of people jumping in here. Just a reminder, if you're watching live, you can scrub through PVR style. You can also watch the replay once we're done. That'll start about 10-15 minutes once the end of the Hangout. And of course, we have the best of podcast version that we will upload here in a couple days. So lots of ways you can listen to the Hangout or watch the Hangout. You can also comment. You can comment via avoidingchores.com, YouTube, and on Google+. We'll be monitoring that. If you're on Twitter, Friday Night Hangout hashtag, we'll be monitoring that. Let's start with our usual bit, which is, now that people are in, what we are drinking tonight. Krista, what are you drinking tonight?
What I am drinking tonight is the oh god, what's it called? I have to look up the name again. Good Robot Brewing, the newbies up in the North End. I met them last weekend at the Full House Craft Beer Fest, and they were delightful. And I am drinking their citrus ale, which is called the Bourbon Tail, and it's an APA style summer ale. Really nice, little hint of citrus, fantastic.
All right, excellent. I'll have to stop by Good Robot to check them out soon. Carrie, what are you drinking tonight?
Number 1, I just finished the Picaroons Yippee IPA. Very good beer. I had a couple of them on the weekend while I was in Fredericton. But I am now drinking a Hell Bay Dark Cream Ale because I just saw it in the brewery this evening, and I like it too.
This is the first time you're drinking that one?
Yes. Like I said earlier, we are up in Sydney. We are getting some more crafty beers up here, so we're catching up with the rest of the world.
Well, we've, as I said earlier, me and Krista, we were talking to somebody with the NSLC, and it seems this summer NSLCs will be diversifying the craft beer section quite a bit, so hold on to your holsters, kids.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
Summer.
Just
It'll
hold
be-
on to it, Dan.
Yeah, just hold on. OFB style. Just hold on.
I don't know what that means, but that seems pretty raunchy. Do I have to pay for this extra service?
Double.
I'm sure there's an extra charge somewhere.
Oh, they always get you somewhere.
Keith, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
I am drinking Uncle Leo's smoked porter.
Ooh, is this the one that you've cellared for like a year? Or
This has been cellared for about 5 months.
Okay.
It gets better. It's been fantastic.
Connoisseur, a beer connoisseur.
Excellent. Good stuff. Dan, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
I have a slew of alcohol tonight. I'm starting off light I'm a big fan of the Kronenburg 1664, and they introduced a wheat version of it. Something's wrong there, Kerry?
Did somebody leave that at your house?
That's a different story. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, we all have guilty pleasures. Let me speak of guilty pleasures. I really like Britney Spears' "Toxic." That would be my guilty pleasure.
That's just a good song. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a guilty pleasure.
No, that's just a pleasure.
This is another guilty pleasure of mine for that song. So I got that, but don't worry. We got this. We got this. We got secret beer. And then if it comes down to it. Yeah, we'll see how tonight goes.
When the hangout lasts 7 hours, Dan will finish his beer supply.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys?
I have a secret beer too.
Ooh. Most premium beer. Most premium beer.
Alright, and I am drinking an Uncle Leo's myself. Uncle Leo's IPA. Got this from the NSLC tonight, so this is their 6% IPA. It's taken a while. I've been sipping on this slowly since, like, I don't know, 7 o'clock here. So
It's very hoppy, but it's good.
Cheese with a sandwich.
It is hoppy, a little bit of malt there, but your East Coast kind of IPA style, but it's very good. I guess we can call this a session beer because it's taking me so long to work it off here. But that's okay. We got a bunch of people here watching, folks. If you're on Twitter, Friday Night Hangout, hashtag, do it. Or you can comment via YouTube or votingchores.com. Get the boys in.
Or Instagram.
Instagram too.
Instagram.
So the crew will be monitoring the various platforms, and we'll get to you momentarily. Let's
Jim,
start
I
off
can't
with.
do it if you don't put the link in there so I can watch.
Oh my lord!
Or Periscope it, or Vine it, or
Find it. Okay, hang on, Kitty. I'll give you the.
Meerkat it,
Meerkat it?
MySpace it,
MySpace it?
Google
Get it
Cities it,
anymore.
whatever you like.
Vivo it?
Angel-
if you're watching
Angel
us
Fire it.
somehow.
Angel
Yeah.
Fire.
Put the embed link on your Angel Fire account, on your GeoCities page.
Yeah. Turn on your set your baud rate to 2400 and join your BBS.
Hey, wasn't there like an anniversary date for the 56K modem? Tumblr pages. Anyway, let's move on with our first topic of the night because this is what people are following. If they were looking at the show topics for tonight, big news: Groupon, hell of a buy. Have a chance if you're in Portland, Maine, to buy a Groupon to get on the Nova Star ferry to do a 24-hour cruise to Yarmouth, disembark, walk around, get back on the ship, get back to Portland, all within 24 hours. Be the first, because there hasn't been anybody that has bought this Groupon yet. Probably because they looked at the fine print, and one of the fine prints is that, one, you got to buy a cabin, so that's one. Two, you arrive in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia at 8:30 in the morning, and as we all know, in most places in Nova Scotia, the only thing that's open at 8:30 is the Tim's or the Irving.
Oh, the McDonald's.
Or the McDonald's if you have one. That's it. So take the time to go through and now the people who are coming on the ferry, they have to get off. So they have to go through customs. How long that's going to take? Don't know. Probably close to an hour and a half, the time they would need to get out. So I find this completely ridiculous. This is what, a punk move to maybe try to boost cabin numbers to boost their stats. What does the panel think?
There's going to be a lot of Tim Hortons being bought.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if there's one that close to the ferry terminal, though. I guess there's one downtown. I think there have been a lot of missed Gilligan's Island opportunities on the joke front with this one. And listen, when it comes to seafaring voyages, I'm not the person to ask. Like, I don't understand the appeal of going on a cruise, for example.
But it's not even a cruise, though. It's a ferry ride.
No, the way this is marketed as a cruise.
As a cruise.
This particular adventure.
Yeah, it just like you're just having like an hour and a half stop, and then you're just cruising
Are
back
they
home.
parking a food truck on there? Is that how it works?
I don't know. Maybe Yarmouth is more open to them than other towns.
Unless
It's,
Gopher and Isaac show up, it is not a cruise.
I just don't get it. It's like they're already dropping the price again to get on the ferry, which is smart. They do need to make that argument to make it a price competitive thing. But let's remember, the ferry is not for us. The ferry is for the American tourists who happen to have a couple grand they want to spend getting on the ferry, getting up to Nova Scotia, and going somewhere else other than Yarmouth. Cape Breton, Halifax, maybe swing all the way back, come back through Maine afterwards. The ferry is not for us, and the idea that Maine is suddenly going to care about the ferry is ludicrous because they never cared about it. I've listened to Maine public radio podcasts for a couple years, and they don't talk about the ferry. They don't care about the ferry.
They don't throw much money towards the ferry, if any.
They threw $0 at the ferry, and they never will. So why are we surprised by this?
You're not going to attract tourists to this province by making it cheaper or easier to actually get here. You're going to attract it by actually giving them a reason to be here, with events, with cultural things, with arts and entertainment, sporting events. That's how you grab them. By reducing the ferry and making it a Groupon, that's not going to do it.
We can use this opportunity to swing into the second topic, which is kind of related. Maybe we should talk about Nova Scotia being a destination, as Dan said. Somebody mentioned here we should rekindle what Nova Scotia was used to be targeted or marketed as a backcountry destination, but let's rephrase this a little bit. A sportsman destination.
Yes, I'm trying. Oh, there. I just found it. I can. Let me pull it up on my screen share.
All right.
Because I found this a couple of years ago, and I put it on my blog. This is on the Nova Scotia Archives because they save everything. And would you just look at this gorgeous... Can you see it?
Nope.
Not yet. There we go.
Yeah. Well, look at that gorgeous... You have this woman in this like super fetching outfit, and she's fishing on the Margaree River, and she has a guy like holding her fish. Like, that's amazing. Like, you could use that poster today.
There's
Nova
flappers fishing.
Scotia, the unspoiled summerland of America. Listen to that. That's so poetic. It's Gatsby, and it's gorgeous.
It's fantastic. I got another image from the Nova Scotia Archives also, and I'll share that one too for the people. Look at this. Big game and fighting fish.
Oh, yeah.
A moose.
No, there's a lot of the fighting fish theme. I went through this run where I posted a bunch of them on my blog like 3 years ago because they're fantastic.
Like this is 1930s, right? And
Yeah.
when you're digging through some
Look at that. You can get a moose.
before they were endangered. Now, when you dig through the history of stuff, we realize that Nova Scotia was the destination for the wealthy American elite to come up here to hunt fish, stay in the rustic cabin. We're talking about Teddy Roosevelt, Rockefeller, the guy that we named the Ponzi scheme after, the guy who kind of created the term. He ended up here in Nova Scotia in the rustic cabins and Kitchmakujik and all that stuff.
Ponzi?
No, the other guy, the other guy, not the Ponzi, but the other guy who is what they refer to as the Ponzi scheme. There was two guys.
Well, there's a guy named Ponzi.
Yeah, Ponzi, but there was the other guy who took it to the whole other level, and that's the kind of the case that's what he did. People calls it the Ponzi because his real last name was something long that people couldn't remember. It wasn't as sexy as Ponzi. So.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I think what those campaigns from the days of yore highlight, and what you see happening now with the tourism marketing, and certainly what you hear in the strategy, is that they are going after people that are travelers from further away that are looking for that outdoor experiential travel opportunity. Right now, they're not Americans anymore. They tend to be Europeans and specifically Germans and from a smattering of other countries over in Western Europe. And it is basically the same product today, but the currency and the language has changed. I think it's a fantastic idea. These guys come and they stay for 3 weeks. Why wouldn't you want them here spending their money?
Exactly. I remember a number of years ago, back in the geocaching days, Keith and Carrie would probably know this, we were setting up things up at the various parks and stuff. There was a German couple that stayed a month. They stayed a month in national parks only.
That's awesome.
They stayed in Keji, they stayed in Fundy, and they stayed up in the Highlands in Cape
Well,
Breton.
they can stay in Nova Scotia for a month because they get almost 2 months off for vacation.
Yeah. But this is an area. So in the somewhere around the 30s, I don't know if it was the Depression or not, but the whole industry, the whole backcountry outdoor adventure, paddling, fishing, that all died very quickly. If you were to go to the Nova Scotia Archive, look at Kijibukujik, hunting lodges and stuff will be all gone. As compared to what they were doing in Maine, they've been able to continue to cultivate that market, and I think we're kind of left behind, right? We just have, we have all the areas and stuff, but we don't have that infrastructure in terms of, the outfitters and the certifications and the training and the support to do whatever, right? I remember.
I would agree with you there, because I think now the market that emerged from the 60s to the 80s really was looking specifically at family road trippers, pulling a hardtop camper, maybe, like not outdoorsy camping, like more like leisure camping, and so that's when you saw like those
Airstreams.
Yeah, Airstreams. Yeah, well, everything from like a hardtop to an Airstream, basically, or an RV. And that, because that was seen as it was a easy market to service, and you didn't have to put a lot of effort into it sometimes. And and I think there's a part of that sector that a lot of people are still kind of hopeful about, and I don't know if it exists or not. I'm not that kind of traveler, so I don't know if that's something that's appealing or if that's something that people want to do here. But I do think there's huge opportunity with outdoors experiential and adventure travel. There continues to be huge opportunity.
Yeah, let's bring it out to the rest of the panel. Keith, Carrie, you guys are in the different areas that could be RV tourist heavy in the summertime.
Tourism here has really tanked a lot in the last 20, 30 years. I mean, there's a lot of potential. The Trans-Canada Trail, runs just up the road from here. There's rivers, there's lots of places to canoe and fish. But I don't know if there's enough volume of people for anybody running a business to make a go of it. That's what I'm not sure about. There's definitely things to do if that's what interests you, but I don't know.
Carrie, is it the same thing up in Cape Breton for you? You find,
I think it's kind of there's a pretty broad spectrum here in Cape Breton, because there's the island is fairly huge, and to get across it, to go from here to Highlands Park is a good hour and a half, 2 hour drive, and then explore and then come back. You're going to make a good day of it if you're traveling from Sydney. So if you have those resources where you can get out, short of 3 or 4 day camping rentals would probably work, because you could go to the Highlands, park in a camp spot, do that, go to another section, do that same thing, and keep going. It probably would work. Because Jim knows you've been up to the Highlands a couple of times. You've been to Lewisburg, and it is a long way around. And by the time you try to do all that in two or 3 days, it does get tiring. Yeah. And if you want to enjoy yourself, you got to spend about a week up here to really, really see the island. So, along with those rustic, if you want to call them rustic fishing trips or hunting trips.
Yeah.
We have the Marguerite and some of the other rivers, or big rivers, are fairly good salmon rivers. So it does attract some of those people. As far
That
as
was what was in the poster from the 30s.
yeah. As far as the moose hunting, there is a limited thing on the moose hunting, and you gotta get in on that lottery really early, and then try to get it. So it's still there. So, I mean, but for wilderness stuff, down on the southern part of the island near Ilma and stuff like that, there the Europeans are buying a lot of land and a lot of properties here. So it's, I mean, we are okay. We're probably doing all good for that, but we could probably see more of that.
Yeah.
That thing.
Well, the big difference I find, like, just, you look at, I use Maine as the example because I find Maine and Nova Scotia to be very eerily similar in terms of the population, which relies on fishing and on logging at some point, tourist town, a few natural sites. Politics are kind of the same, really, when you start listening to them. So just the accent's a little different, but one of the things that they spend a lot of time on is cabins. Like the cabins, and for us, we have the areas, and that's the one area that we kind of fell apart. When I learned that Keji National Park, that was a hunting lodge. Hunting lodge kind of scenery there. So
There is a real shortage of cabins to rent
Yeah.
in this part of the world, and it seems kind of ridiculous, really.
Well, the way that the industry developed here, it was towards motor lodges and motels and campgrounds.
It's too bad.
But not like backyard camping, more like commercial, like staff people, like cordwood camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple exclusive campgrounds. Like there's a cabin rental. I think I might have 6 or 7 cabins up in Meat Cove, and a friend of mine that I know he has one that's not up as far as Meat Cove, and they do well, but they're probably not as well advertised as what they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, even
My fear through all this is if the world's changed a lot, and the way that we actually move around the world has changed a lot as well. So the days of us being able to just grab people to exotic Nova Scotia because it's different, because they can only read about it in books or read or just hear about it on the radio. We're not going to be able to capture that. Just to have people randomly come here from far distances to enjoy our scenery. I think I actually have to cultivate a sense of adventure. Cultivate, sporting events that include like. I don't want to just make it all about running in that, but even that, like long distance hike runs or whatever you want, cross country events, things like that. That way, you advertise it through the event, and then you also bring on the people as well to say, "Hey, let's come back here the next year," something like that.
No, you're right, Dan. Like the ultras, or there's a number of events that.
Yeah, but make it a backwoods one. That way you have that bit of a crossing over there.
Oh, well, we'll continue this topic once we hear about how the Groupon goes, because
we'll start our own Groupon for this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks, you are listening to the Friday Night Hangout. We've got a number of people watching. Thanks for watching. We're going to get to your comments right now. If you are on Twitter, Friday Night Hangout, hashtag, avoidingchores.com, YouTube, might be some stuff on Google+, who knows? Spin the magic wheel. And we're going to start with Krista, who's been monitoring the Twitter, hopefully. Do we have anything?
No, just Dan. And then a couple of days ago, Lori said, I hope this Nova Star Groupon thing is on the topics for Friday Night Hangout.
Yeah, and then she's not in the panel tonight, so we wanted a little bit of Lori to contribute here. Let's go to avoidingchores.com. Carrie, is it anything there tonight? Or?
Bluefin is the only one in tonight.
Mike.
He says, hey gang, he's offshore again this week, so there's no beer for him tonight. Oh, sorry, buddy. He says he'll be enjoying Tetley Bowl tea instead.
That's right.
That's it.
Tea man.
Next week he'll be on shore, so he'll be able to join us.
Yay!
And Dan on the YouTube, we got anything going on there?
So far, just one. We have GC Storm 1 saying, good evening, folks. I'm drinking sea level tonight. I stopped by earlier this week and picked up one of the last growlers of Randy's Acadian Cross Extra Pale Ale.
Oh, I like that one so much. So lucky.
So that's a big push for Randy's Acadian Cross Extra Pale Ale.
That Acadian Cross is a nice beer. It's probably my favorite sea level one that I've had yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that it,
that's all we got. That's all we got so far.
Another
Unless something
night.
else did your Apple Watch say that we got something else?
Hang on. No. Not yet. Not
My Apple Watch.
yet.
9!
That's okay. I turned off some of the notifications so it doesn't ping as much as last time, so I know everybody was having a little fun at my expense with my...
So it's not tapping you all the time now?
No, it's not tapping me all the time, but yeah.
Hey.
And I turned off the whole hey Siri. I turned that off too, so... All right, let's move on to the next topic here, which is another Nova Scotia-based story. This is a funny one here. A woman, she was in labor, heading to the hospital, hit a bear, but still made it to the hospital.
A woman in labor hits a bear on the way to the
Oh,
hospital.
she was in the car.
It does not get... No, but yeah, like that story. No, her husband was driving, but that story does not get any more rural Nova Scotia.
So from Bridgetown.
So we're talking about a bear, like the animal bear, right?
Yes,
That's right.
I just want to I want to confirm that.
Not like a big dude called Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or a monkey called Bear and his owner's name BJ driving a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm pretty sure that she was not driving along a highway in rural Nova Scotia and hit a monkey in the middle of the night. That's...
So
That
they
would
hit.
be awesome, though.
I don't know.
So
I have a monkey story. Can't tell it here though.
Is it a Bigfoot sommelier that she hit by accident?
Bigfoot
perhaps?
sommelier. And then he recommended a fine Cab Frank to go along with her delivery.
So the baby ended up being 8 pounds, so a healthy baby. They collided with this bear on the hood of their truck around 3:30 in the morning between Alsford and Berwick a couple weeks ago. But authorities could not find the bear afterwards, or they didn't see. They heard a big impact, but could not find.
Well,
the
they
object.
managed to get a picture of it as he was kind of running off, but that was the extent of it. And I don't know if there's been any sort of like further investigate if they've gone to like look to see the bear, because I don't know, like it may have survived it. It's depending how fast they were going. They were on the 101 though in the middle of the night, so they would have been gunning it. So
They're very lucky. Bears and pigs are not things you want to hit with your for being low animal. You don't want to hit them.
But
That's true.
I've seen a couple of YouTube videos where bear gets hit by a car and they just bounce it off and then they just
Cartwheel
throw into
into
the
the
woods like
shake
there's nothing.
it off. Shake it off.
Yeah, shake it off, right?
Yeah, because
So-
they're muscle. They're just muscle and fat, so just sort of
Well,
And full of honey.
apparently the baby's middle name now is Bear.
I was gonna say, like, where's one of you guys like set up the punchline for this one, because he has a very charming.
That's
I'm glad they didn't hit a
That name
skunk.
is gonna haunt them.
That's right.
that
Glad they didn't
name
run
is-
over a skunk or
Yeah, that name is gonna haunt that child for the rest of its life.
Are you kidding? That kid has a cool story about
Yeah.
how he was born now, and he's named after a bear, and people are probably gonna call him Bear. That's awesome.
His
No,
mom
This kid is set for life.
Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
No. His mom will come up with some story, find some necklace on eBay with like fake bear teeth or bear claws, and put around his neck or
You don't need to make up a story. He
something crazy.
already survived a bear collision while being born. That's your story. Yeah, you
One
wimps
hell
can
of a
go
welcome
pound
wagon.
sand. The rest of you wimps can go pound sand. You were just born in a hospital. You know what I did? I was in labor. I was on my way out. I hit a bear. I shook it off, and I was born. Deal with it.
I don't think he had that much to do with the whole incident.
He
I mean,
will,
the
but-
mom should be proud.
No, that is definitely how that
There ain't
story is.
nothing on me! Oh!
Hey, boo boo.
I promise you, that is how that story will get told as that kid gets older.
You made me pop out of the picnic basket!
Okay.
All
Another
right.
beer here going. Come on.
All right, actually, you know what? It is 10 o'clock, so let's remind everybody what we are
That
drinking
swearing
tonight.
is now allowed.
Yes.
What
So we'll start with me. What we're drinking tonight, I am just finishing off Uncle Leo's IPA, 6% East Coast IPA. Very good stuff. Just tonight, took a while to try to polish this off. So let's move on to Krista. What are you drinking tonight?
Me. I'm still drinking my good robot.
Memer. Wait a second, how do I know that she's not the real Krista and not replaced with a mandroid?
This is my bourbon tail citrus ale summer APA. It's a summer ale APA style beer. Lovely. Almost 6% though. I didn't realize that until I got through the first glass, and I was like, "Whoa, this is really catching up with me." 5.8% APV. So,
All right.
bit on the high side for an APA, but pretty good.
Carrie, what are you drinking?
I'm going brave. I just found this one too in a recently upgraded NSLCC store. The Propeller Ripier.
Rye IPA.
Rye IPA.
Ripier.
The Ripier.
It's only here from the valley. Go for a rip there, bud.
Go for a rip there, bud. Yeah, sure. Let's go. It smells pretty good. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Not quite your thing?
No. That's good beer.
That's good.
Good.
All right. Well, I guess if you like rye in terms of the strong stuff, there you get that rye taste in there. So.
Here.
All right, Keith, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Uncle Leo's smoked porter. Good stuff.
yours-
One of my favorites.
And you are slowly sipping that also tonight.
It's a growler, so I'm working my way through it.
Oh, Jesus, yes. And Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
I moved on to beer number 2, but I'm not sure if I'm terribly happy with it. But it's Leon. I don't think I'm sure.
The Naufrageur, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of metallic-y, so it's not really turning the crank. And there's only 4.5%, so that's the other issue with it.
Oh my god, it's basically like tap water.
Oh my god, it's like Coors Light. So I think
Put
it's
some
time to
vodka in
crack
it.
open into
It's like
so I'm
they can
gonna
live
move-
in a canoe.
I'm going to move up to Boxing Rock Cinnamon Spin.
Oh, a cinnamon
There you
spin.
go.
So I'm going to try that one shortly.
That's a good one.
Excellent. All right, let's move on to the next topic, by-election or election, PI. We just had an election. Oh, yes, that's right. We did have an election. However, one result was taking a long time. They had to recount and recount.
Yeah.
And
It was a tie. That's why they did a recount.
so they ended up deciding the winner by coin toss. Now, this...
It's not allowed. That's not something that was like written in 1823 and it just
You know
somehow
what?
stuck.
I thought you might say that. So I did a little bit of research today. Fun
You
fact.
thought I said that?
I thought somebody went. I thought somebody would say like, "That's so stupid." Like that sounds like they made it up. And so I
It
pulled
is
up.
stupid, but hey.
Oh, it's stupid, but that's another matter. So I went to the internet because that's where the best stuff is, and I'm stalling because I am pulling up the screen share. I dug
Would
out
have been Wikipedia.
No, I dug out the Elections Act of Prince Edward Island, and Section 102 says blah, 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 where basically when there's a tie, the returning officer shall, in the presence of at least two of the persons authorized to be present under, there's all list of things, toss
Was
a
that written in
coin.
1996?
1996, and then it was updated in 1998. They will toss a coin to determine the winning candidate.
2000.
Did DI just start using clocks and like metric time or something? What the hell?
Well, not to be too negative here. The coin toss is also an accepted practice in trade agreements. So when you're bidding against government contracts and stuff like that, so you have identical bids, coin toss is also the final determining factor. And
You know
that's
what?
also
Rock,
in-
paper, scissors can be used for nut punches. I mean,
So-
it doesn't make it legit.
But ultimately, I think that, I mean, eventually you need some prescribed way to decide a tie or to decide an otherwise untenable situation. So for comparison's sake, I went and pulled up the Nova Scotian legislation because I was like, it's probably something pretty similar. But I was delighted to discover that there is an 8-step process for drawing a name out of a hat that is used in Nova Scotia. So
Okay.
you place the name of each candidate on an equal-sized piece of paper of the same color. Part B. Fold each piece of paper so the name of the candidate cannot be seen. Part C. Place the folded pieces of paper into a box. Section D. Secure the lid of the box. Section E.
Do you
Shake
cut a
the
hole in the
box.
box? Do you put
Cut a
your
hole-
junk in the box?
Cut a hole in the box. Section F. Open the box. Section G. Draw one piece of paper from the box. Section
Oh,
8. Unfold the piece of paper so that the name on it can be seen. Section I. Declare elected the candidate whose name appears on the paper.
Was this like from
So-
like 10-year-old girls from like elementary school where they have like little fortune teller things, you know?
It is very important to reiterate that the Nova Scotian Elections Act has an 8-step process written into it for drawing a name out of a box. When in
You know what?
PI, they flip a coin to
I
achieve the
would
same
take
outcome.
flipping a coin any day.
So
yeah, like, I had
we have
the
reverted our political system to chaos theory, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Well, I mean, someday it'll be a random number generator. There'll be some modern newfangled way to involve randomness in breaking a tie. But in the
Fear
meantime,
factor.
you flip a coin. Yeah, you could fear factor. You could Hunger Games
Fear
it
factor
someday.
it. Eat
I'd
this
watch
bug.
that.
Who can eat it the fastest?
Yeah, or it could be like a Hunger Games, like last candidate standing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have a 10-step draw name out of a hat situation.
It's fantastic. But one of the things that the coin flip does is that you get all the parties. Like, let's say if there's two candidates or whatever, you get them in the same room, and it's like it's a tie. We've done this. We recounted X number of times. Here's a coin. We're gonna flip it. Call it. And that's how we're going to do it. And you know what? For probably a lot of people, it's like, yeah, take a coin toss any day rather than draw a name on a hat or some other process. Why not? It's fair.
If I was a constituent, I would be pissed. The
But
fact that my vote has been relegated to luck.
yeah, but like, what do you do otherwise?
Exactly.
A duel. At dawn. Pistols at dawn.
I
Rock,
feel
paper,
like at
scissors,
some
and then a
point-
kick to the nuts. I mean,
Well, there is some point in human history where it was settled with a duel. We know that.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't our founding mayor, our father of democracy, Joe Howe, did duels?
Sure. That
Did
guy
he
could
do
do
it?
anything.
He can do
Probably.
a whole bunch of stuff.
I don't want to speak for Joe Howe, but I feel like he could probably win a duel. But he fought with his words. He didn't need to fight with a gun.
I thought he did duels. I thought I heard something he did duels. Anyway, let's do a quick check of comments. Folks, if you are watching, you have access to the internet because you're watching this. Twitter, Friday Night Hangout, Instagram, Friday Night Hangout hashtag, YouTube, Google+, avoidingchores.com. Carrie's not there, so he's not going to read that. I just got an email from GC Storm. He sends me a picture. And
Continue that. Go,
well,
quick.
I am so glad that it's on the second computer, so I can't bring it up on the screen share. But that is a very interesting picture he sent me. Oh, Roger. Let's go to Chris, and we'll leave it at that. Krista, what do you got on Twitter?
Nothing recently.
It's been a quiet night on the Twitter.
I know. Trudy is at a party tonight, so.
And Dan, what's going on the YouTube?
Pretty quiet, and I can blame on the fact that I actually tweeted it out as Fur-Day Night Hangout. So, screw Friday Night Hangout, it's now Fur-Day, celebrating coniferous trees. Fur-Day.
And let's see here on... nope, I don't see anything from on Avoiding Chores. Oh, Carrie's back.
Yeah.
I am going to push, though, again. Try and get some stuff on Instagram. Instagram it.
Carrie's anything on Avoiding Chores in terms of comments?
Just push the button. So hang on.
Okay.
Don't rush me.
No pressure. I mean,
No pressure, we're live.
Nothing. I'm okay.
people watching. No pressure.
Hey, what's going on?
All the pressure's on.
Tabber squanch.
Nope, that's it.
No, that's
Sorry.
it. Okay.
Let
no,
lunch
it's okay.
back let down.
Not
have
a
called away.
problem. All right, so let's move on to. Well, there are a few people watching. All right, let's do the next topic here, and which is another tourism-related one. I don't know why I didn't put these in the right order here. On top of the Groupon Ferry from Maine, an Alberta tour company mistakes the island of Cape Breton for Newfoundland, and
Quite reasonable.
Let me bring this up.
This is hilarious. I love this story.
I love this, and I love the just it was like woo, like oh well, like response. That was amazing.
So let me try to blow this up here.
Look at that. Oh, I wish Mike was on the Hangout tonight.
Yeah.
And Lori, come on, where are all our Newfoundlanders?
So this is a tour company in Alberta promoting whatever. Like they printed this out, and then people like, yeah, it doesn't quite look like Newfoundland. You're actually kind of.
I wish it was true though. It'd be so much easier to get to Newfoundland.
However, people did have some fun with this and made their own versions of the illustration.
I encourage
Because
that.
they made a map of Alberta now in response to this.
No, but what a good idea. You should get on that.
Put places from Montana on it or something.
Now let me show you what it was supposed to look like. So it was supposed to look like this. I mean, big difference.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of.
Went from that to that.
Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, like you have to because in the map that they published, you can see part of the word Nova Scotia in it. So it's like, what were you friggin' morons on a deadline, and you were too like cooked on meth to realize what you were doing? Like, what's happening?
Yes.
And it's a real shame we don't have Lori or Mike on here tonight to
I know.
display some Newfoundland
Too
rage.
lazy.
Enraged.
Too lazy to look everything up on Google Maps to figure out where everything was. And if they're that good of a tourism company, they should have something like Esri or something to do their little wee maps for them. That's just
Yeah, it makes you wonder where they sent the work to get done, right? So and who was the person signing off on it?
Yeah,
That's-
pretty easy
not
to
a
check
Canadian.
nowadays.
Not a Canadian, I think. Not a Canadian.
Well, I mean, what's kind of like sweetly ironic about all this is that there is nothing but scads and scads of people from Alberta and Nova Scotia, and particularly Cape Breton, that live and work out in Alberta. So you would think, like, Alberta must be lousy with Newfoundlanders and Nova Scotians and Cape Bretons who would know where all these places are. Nope. They don't work in graphic design, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But even the numbers aren't the same. I don't get it.
Yeah, like that.
It's
like
just,
the tour,
like Carrie said, it's just lazy.
Oh my god, yeah, it was just,
That's- Huh?
yeah.
Now, is it as bad as the two local travel guide errors that didn't quite get a lot of news attention? The boner on the PEI brochure?
That boner, that was news like a month ago. I don't know why it took
Yeah.
so long to become larger news. Because when it
No,
first came
I
out,
missed that
there
one.
was,
What's this a boner? So I'm intrigued now.
there's a boner.
Go
on
to
the
PEI,
cover
you'll
of
find
the
out,
PEI
Dave.
travel guide.
Go play on their island and you'll find
Yeah,
it all
hang
there.
on, hang
Oh.
on. Here-
I don't
here-
think it's a boner. I think it's just a weird fold in a short.
Yeah, it's just
They're
a weird
renaming,
photo.
they're renaming PEI the Cialis of the Gulf.
Haha.
Ooh. Is this one of those ones where you see sort of like that idling lawnmower sitting on the lawn and then,
It's
you know,
not
the,
like-
the
it's not
sparkly
like a
music?
Boner. It's just like a weird fold.
It's
in
a
his-
weird, yeah.
A little bit of chub.
Oh, that one! Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
So-
That's awesome.
But yeah, but that's the thing. A lot of
I
people.
feel bad for that guy, the model there. Like, that's his like career now. Boner guy.
No way. He has a second career now. He should be thanking PEI.
What? He's not going to be on a Chuck Tangle book anytime soon, so don't get excited.
Are you sure?
But he's going to be like the
Maybe there's a
marginally,
Bigfoot that's about to bring a platter of wine to him.
But you know, like the thing is, like, you know, it's kind of funny and all, but it's not like impressive, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, maybe they shot the picture. Yeah,
Maybe it was chilly in the ocean that day.
it was chilly.
Judge.
Like,
How is
PEI,
that cool?
Maybe
PEI
it
is
warbles
only nice
to
in
the side.
August.
Who
and
knows?
That's it. But then Nova Scotia had their mistake this week. So they
Yeah.
had the French.
So,
road guide.
as a natural francophone, Jim, how do you feel about this?
Well, I chuckle at this one because now, for those who don't know what the error is, the E with the accent's going the wrong way. It should be tilting to the left.
Routier.
Routière, not routier. So
Routier. So what I think happened here, and I don't know what happened here, but what I'm guessing happened here is that
Alcohol.
whoever designed this got the French version translated. And someone said to me earlier this week it was probably like it was subcontracted to someone whose kid was in French immersion and they did the translation. I was like, that's amazing because it's probably. It might be close. You never know how it happened. But I mean, that was done by the designer, right? Like the agency that does the Chores materials. So there's a really good chance that the designer looked at it, saw routière spelled properly with the correct accent, and went like, "Nah, I don't like the way that looks," and just changed the accent so that it went from an accent grave to an accent aigu. Because it looked better because it matched the one over in
yeah, it matched the small one, Nouvelle Écosse. Yeah, exactly.
I promise you, I would bet the remainder of this growler from Good Robot Brewing, just down the street from my house, that was a conversation that happened when they looked at the designs and they're like, I don't know, like the accents look all messed up, like that looks dumb.
I think it's Extreme that is doing the stuff for tourism this year still, I think. And for the marketing and for the agency there. So it's going to cost them about $5,000 to redo it. Personally, I think it's funny because as I moved here from more bilingual provinces and more francophone provinces around the country, this is the province that has a very large French history that, just like everything else, just chooses to just ignore the the freed blacks from the revolution, the revolution, and all these other things. Let's just keep Nova Scotia defined into a little box here, and just not have the resources to have somebody who knows a little bit of French to do some proofreading.
We're a quaint province of fishermen. Ha ha!
Yeah, go fishing on the Marguerite in the 30s with your
Yeah.
box socks.
Just coming in. We boot Hitler in the ass today.
But it's true though. It's like you look at internal.
Sorry, that was really funny.
But it's true though. The province is not really geared towards servicing the other official language of the country, let alone other stuff. And that's my one serious comment of the night.
Well, I do wish that it was treated as more. It was treated more as a regular service and not an add-on for whatever reason that we have to do it. Look, I speak a decent amount of French, and when I looked at that, it was like, oh, like they pulled a figurative boner there, unlike PEI, which pulled a literal boner.
Actually, technically, that is a boner.
It's a figurative boner. It's not a literal boner.
Yeah, it's an ague.
Well, the joke has many levels, obviously.
Yes.
But, yeah, like, some of it just comes down to, Nova Scotia, other than people that are of Acadian descent and are Francophones who have moved here from other parts of Canada, other countries, like, French is just not that common in the predominantly Anglophone population. Like, it's not even our second language here. It's like our, fourth language here. So I do wish that as Canadians, Nova Scotians had a better handle on French so that things like this would not get to this point where they cost $5,000 to pick.
Yeah, and that's the small number, so I don't know.
Actually, 5,000 is pretty cheap in comparison.
I just find the thing kind of funny here, so. But, but you get Keith. Keith is living on the remains of Acadian dikes and stuff like that, so, he's on no water
Not like that.
Not those.
Send your complaints to Audi Jeep.
What? I find dam systems very funny.
No, we were saying about you look through the history of Nova Scotia and the French, France, they were in a lot of spots around the province here. Louisbourg, Annapolis Royal, up in Keith's neck of the woods.
Yeah, that's because they got expelled out of.
That's right.
lower states.
All those Anglos kept burning down our houses.
The expulsion started here, actually, in Wallace and Tadenbush.
Yeah, and then moved down the Bay of Fundy. Yeah, Annapolis Royal was one of the last places to do the expulsion. Where my kin said, it's time to leave. They went up the Bay of Fundy to Tantramars, up in, I think they shipwrecked around Cape Chinecto or something like that. Refugees Cove. Stuff like that. Weird history. Crazy.
Very weird.
Crazy. Only been around. Only sold in Canada since 17 something. That's all. Little family history.
My people are Acadian. We've only been here since the 1600s, but whatevs.
Yeah, whatevs.
But what do I know?
Yeah. Aigu, grave.
Glad. Don't ask me.
My people show up in 1960s, so I can't really say much.
Yeah. Out of towner. Come from
No, don't.
What do they say?
Actually, no.
What is it?
My father immigrated to Canada when he was 10, but on my mother's side, which is French, La Liberté, they were part of the original French soldiers that came across during the New World.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm an Aborigine, so. There you go.
So, yeah, Carrie trumps all of us.
Trumps us, all of us. It's been around. thousands of years. And Keith is ready to pass out.
Technically, aren't we all African when it comes down to it?
No.
Well, I think science will bear that eventually, but
Yes. Not yet.
Or we're all descendants of Genghis Khan, something like that.
That'd be wicked, right? That'd be dinosaurs and
Dinosaurs and Genghis Khan.
what?
Genghis
I don't know.
Khan.
That's gonna be an
I
awesome
think
movie. Mad Max
Hey,
3,
fact check.
Genghis.
I just watched. Did you guys watch this Kung Fury trailer?
Yes.
the what?
Oh my
The
god, it's
Kung
so awesome.
Fury trailer.
No.
It is so awesome.
I
Thor
can't.
is amazing.
I can't play it on here because I'll get dinged. But just go into the YouTube and do a Kung Fury trailer or teaser, and you will be greeted with the marvelous 80s magic. It'll be good. It's good stuff. It's really funny.
He tries to take on the Kung Fuhrer, which is awesome.
Hitler, the master of Kung Fu.
That's right.
It's hilarious. So
Which, by the way, if you like that sort of really campy stuff, there's a series called Danger 5, which you can get
Yes.
on Netflix. And that is amazing.
I watched
Holy
the first.
crap.
I watched the first episode, and I was hilarious.
So good. I'm not as big of a fan for the second season, but the first season is just gold.
You know what? I gotta be honest, like, I don't have kids. Where do you guys find the time to do all this stuff? Like, I barely have enough time to, like, keep myself alive.
When it comes to laughing at Hitler, you make the time.
My time
Always
is
makes the time to laugh at Hitler.
You give your kid a bone full of peanut butter? No.
no. I take my iPad and I go in the bathroom. And,
You know what?
Okay, that's enough, Jim.
So Jim,
I
Didn't
Actually-
even know that much.
I'll have to make this amount. You know, as when we were kids, we're always wondering, like, why is Dad always in the bathroom?
yeah.
And now we understand.
Probably crying in the sink.
Oh my God! Now I understand.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The bathroom is like the fortress of
It
solitude.
is. It's
Sorta.
awesome.
Sorta. Because they
But with
end
an
up-
iPad, it's way more interesting.
And now with the age of smartphones and iPads, it's a
Oh,
completely
my God.
different beast.
Yeah. So I watch Netflix while I'm taking care of number 2.
Ah, stop!
Don't worry.
I can't be the only one that does this.
Don't worry. You can use a Lysol wipe on the iPad afterwards. It's
You
fine.
didn't have to.
No, I just lay it on the thing in the
I
sink.
thought
I'm
people
just,
thought of lilacs
I'm,
and things
I'm
like that.
I'm
were
like
doing that.
this. I'm just
Siri, play Netflix.
yeah, exactly. Use Siri.
Siri, erase the last 30 seconds of this.
Delete browser history.
I hope we're not setting up people's.
Leave
right now. Wait a second.
Or Siri. I forget.
Hey Siri, call Jim. There we go. Let's see if we have any of that up right now.
Oh, all right. Let's move on to the next topic here, which is.
Oh, wait, I gotta get my rage on. Just a second. Gotta get my
Okay,
rage
hang on.
on.
Yeah, I've got a lot of feelings about this as well. Okay.
Okay,
Go
go ahead.
All right, the state of Maryland, they took parallel parking off of its driver test because people were just failing it all the time.
But seriously, like, okay, are we ready? Are we ready to do this?
Yep, let's do it.
Yes.
I was
Believe
gonna
it.
say, okay, I'm just gonna say this. What time is it? Taking shit off of the driving test is not useful to us as society because people can't drive as it is.
But
And
it's so
parallel parking-
hard.
Oh,
Oh
shut
my
up. No, yeah, like
God.
spend like a few hours learning to parallel park. That's what you're paying for the lessons for. Millennials aren't even getting driver's licenses. Like, this is not.
How
this
am
is
I
an
gonna do a
issue.
selfie when I'm trying to parallel park?
Oh my god, like, I can't selfie while I parallel park. That's what a selfie stick is for, you friggin' idiot. I can't even, like, believe the standards for basic competence in driving were so unsuccessful that they have to remove stuff from the driving test. And parallel parking is a fairly essential driving skill. other than not killing people and keeping it forward and backward.
Okay,
Because you know damn well that this is like, so they strike it from Maryland. Does that mean that they're only going to drive in Maryland moving forward, or
You only
how's
go
that
into,
working?
like, you only park in parking lots. But like parallel parking is the ultimate test of your ability to do spatial reasoning, which is a really important skill when you're driving, because you need to figure out how not to hit people around you. You need to know how you're using your space.
But is this factor made up that Mississippi took decimals and fractions out of the math system in their curriculum? And it's a little different from what we're talking about. But basically, the attitude in society now is that if you can't do it, walk away from it. Don't try to figure it out. Let's just
I feel
lower
like
the
that's
bar for
probably,
everybody until we're all, crawling, basically.
I think that's the better point. But if you look at lots of other countries in the world, that's why they're eating our lunch right now, because we're like, oh, like it's too hard. Like we just won't test you on that anymore. Meanwhile, in China, they're doing extra tests in parallel parking, and they're going to be like the best parkers in the world in 5 years.
Yeah, they're doing
probably
three-dimensional parallel
fractions
parking.
while they're parallel parking, I bet you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because those guys can multitask. They learn how to do it from birth. Well, they're in the sports academies.
Pay an extra $3,000 for your car, and it will do it for you.
No, you hand someone an Uber app on their phone, and they're no longer allowed to drive. That's the only solution.
Well, I'm also very comfortable with that idea. If you cannot muster the enthusiasm for parallel parking, and if you can't get out of your own way, or you can't cajole somebody into spending enough time with a car with you to teach you how to friggin' parallel park, don't drive. Do the rest of the world a favor. Don't drive. Don't do it.
Take the bus.
Take the bus.
Take a bicycle. Be more environmentally friendly anyway. But yeah, get off the fucking road.
You should definitely be off the road anyway, and I would also strongly
that.
encourage you to consider whether procreating is for you or not. There, I just put that out there.
But procreating is so hard. Oh my god.
Ask the guy from PEI.
You have to do the test on that tail.
Oh my god, can I do it with my phone?
Don't back up the bus.
How am I supposed to have a duck face when I'm procreating?
Oh my god. What if my baby is ugly?
Okay, when was the last time when was the last time you guys parallel parked? For me, it's been
2 days ago. Thank you. 2 days ago.
3 months ago.
Well,
And you know what?
I don't have a car, so I don't drive very often. But you know what? I can still do it because I learned how to parallel park properly through driver ed.
Keith, you parallel park in your neck of the woods?
You go to town, you should pretty well have to.
That's right.
Yeah,
Everything
you do
is kind
have
of
to,
restrictions
yeah.
on street parking. You have to parallel park there.
Yes.
If you have to go to the dockyard for any reason, you have to parallel park because there's no other place to park.
And Carrie, what do you do? When was the last time you parallel parked?
No, if I'm driving the truck, I'm going to drive straight in. If I'm driving the SUV, I might have to parallel park, but not too often. We don't live in a big, busy, bustling town.
Yeah, same here. You have to do it. It's not tight squeeze parallel parking around here.
No.
Like Krista says, it's a nice to have. It's a nice
No,
to have.
it's not.
It's not a nice to have.
It's not nice to have. It's an essential skill because it's all about spatial reasoning. You need to know how to use space when you drive.
You have to be able to understand the dimensions of the vehicle that you're within.
Yes.
Be able to make correct judgments based upon that.
Yes.
Try parallel parking when you're driving in England. Oh man, try that.
Yeah.
Once.
Use your brain. Give it a test.
By the way, another thing I want to throw into the test is have people go through roundabouts. Because people don't know how to fucking go through those.
Oh, that's a different thing here because they never use them properly in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, the point being is
that's
that
a
should be
different
actually
problem
part of
here.
the curriculum.
Oof. We can talk
Oh,
about. We can make a whole segment about that.
Yeah, the problem with Nova
Yeah.
Scotians and roundabouts is that until about 5 years ago, we only had two of them. The one, the Armdale Rotary, which wasn't a roundabout until about like 5, 6 years ago, and the one in Port Hawkesbury. And now they're all over the place, and people don't know what to do with them because they never learned how to drive them properly the way the rest of the world drives them. They learn this stupid, passive-aggressive Nova Scotian way of driving through a rotary where it's like, okay, like, you go, then I go, then you go, then I go. And then, like, it doesn't work. And, like that'll work perfectly because we're all just going to, like, let other people go to show how, like, magnanimous we are. And
Get in and give her. That's all you need to know about a roundabout. Get in and give her.
Get in and give her. Yeah, you're right, Keith. And that one in Port Hawkesbury is not a proper roundabout anyway.
No,
Yeah, that's
no,
a messed up one too. So, yeah.
That's it, yeah. But it doesn't have to be. It's just been, we've just made it that way through our own, I don't know, insufferableness.
You're stressing me out.
Yeah.
Do it at 90 km an hour like they do.
Man, we've been pretty negative this whole hangout.
Holy shit! What a downer.
Man.
This province has problems.
I need more beer.
Take downers out of the hangout because I can't deal with it.
We can go back to talking about how you settle elections randomly. I really enjoyed that conversation.
Wow, that was great. All right, well,
You're welcome.
we're gonna do Cards Against Humanity, but I want to check Dan if he has anything.
I do. So actually, I got two things going on here for that. So I want to start off with our buddy there, Chuck Tingle.
Chuck.
Yeah. So we got some Tingle tweets going back to our segment of putting the fingle on the tingle. So let me just pull some words of wisdom from our buddy Chuck Tingle. So bear with me. Gonna do a screen share. Boom.
Oh.
Okay, so these are some of the tweets that we got from Chuck Tingle this past couple weeks. So he wants to do a Google search of Daniel Craig in James Bond clothes open butthole. So that is some deep wordage there. I'm not sure. First of all, is there a new browser search engine called Google that I wasn't aware of?
This further evidence for my Chuck Tingle is an art project theory.
Yeah, I think what was that thing about detecting whether an entity is either a robot or a humanoid from Blade Runner?
Oh, no, I think he's a human, but yeah.
So here's another one. Some nights when the world seems too big, I like to sit in my son's closet. Good spot of real thoughts for men who kiss. What are you doing sitting in your son's closet?
Get out of the closet. Oh, wait.
See, that son must be freaked out. The Curse of Bigfoot Camp. Please enjoy new Tingler and share a very important message for mummy's safety.
Oh, a girl.
The Curse of Bigfoot Butt Camp. Coming to
Oh, my
and
God.
notice Bigfoot is a mummy.
I'm so excited for that.
Oh, what's the description of the book here? The synopsis there? When Ken's
it's just-
friend...
That
little blurb there.
When Ken's friend from the office talks him into a week at Bigfoot Butt Camp, he has no idea that his life is about to change forever. The first thing
right.
comes in, ...
Oh.
So, yeah.
I cannot lie. I'm going to go read that immediately after we're done here.
Here's another one. Pack an extra sock in case you chase a goose into a creek. Lesson learned today on the way to Starbucks with my son. Had to go home wet. What the fuck? What the hell does that all mean? That's crazy talk. Here's another one. Too much spaghetti keeps me up. Caffeine and noodles is real science. Now catching the stars, wondering if there's a real ET man looking back. Holy shit! This guy's not far.
No, it's not a real guy. It's like a
It's like a
someone
random
who's
word
like-
generator.
Yeah,
Wow.
it could be a random word generator, like the Mad
Possibly.
Libs of like internet nuttiness.
By the way, Ryan Reynolds kissing pics.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
What?
I'm afraid Chuck Tingle is alone on that one.
Yeah. Sugar's Ray Ban with wieners in each other's mouths. So, I just love that. That's on so many levels. That's an amazing tweet.
Yeah, that
Someone
one
showed me
works.
Six Sense movie. I believe he meant Sixth Sense
No, he
movie.
means Sixth
Now I'm worried I might be a ghost. Do you know? How can you tell if you're really a ghost in Taekwondo class?
Depends. If
How does one know if they're a ghost in Taekwondo class? That actually is a very good question. And lastly, here, this one for you. Warning, new Tingler title cannot be unlearned. Real proof that love is the soul. Reamed by my reaction to this title of this book.
Wait, what was
Amazing.
the Buck Trungle?
That's awesome.
The
That's
look
just
on
fun
his
to
face
say.
says everything. That's it. Reamed by my reaction to the title of this book. There we go. So,
Why isn't that guy
okay.
on the cover of the PEI tourism brochure?
Yeah.
Come play on mine.
Come play on my island.
Remember, numbers would be up, wouldn't they?
by the way, the synopsis, Buck Trungle, we all
Buck
know that's
Trungle.
code for who he really means, has released a brand new tale of hardcore gay erotica. But could the story itself be too powerful to contain with the realm of mere words? So awesome. Awesome, Chuck Tingle. So thank you. You've made my life so much better.
Honestly,
on to-
I'm just going to put this out there, but for my birthday next year, if everybody I knew bought me a Chuck Tingle, that would basically be everything I'll ever need.
So, as for this week's actually bad things to find on the internet, bad products, and I do have one, and this week's theme is based upon toilet paper. And don't ask why, it just kind of worked out that way. All this talk
It's like
about
the
having...
toilet paper you can buy on Amazon, because I do not understand that at all.
Well, everything's good. So here's a couple of brands of toilet paper which kind of confuse me greatly. Lucky Dutchman toilet tissue. Why is that a good name for a toilet paper? I think you're pretty unlucky as a Dutchman.
Lucky that he
Or
has
actually-
toilet paper.
Is it a chair or some sort of very elaborate potty for an adult?
Oh no, it is a chair, and he has his hand open, awaiting something.
Waiting for
but
you
yeah,
to bring in the
that's-
toilet paper, Dan.
I will say,
I guess so.
the name Lucky Dutchman just reminded me that I did not buy a Power Max ticket, and I was going to because the jackpot was $50 million.
The next one, Jubilee. Because, when I'm wiping my ass, it's like a party down there.
Or it's like a really excessive amount of debt forgiveness.
Yeah. This one, apparently Google is not just a search engine, it's also a brand of toilet paper.
I love that. What is that? Is that Thai, the language that's on there?
Yeah, it's Thai, it's Google, and it's made out of 100% virgin pulp.
Oh, you know what? There's a really good chance that that was made in Nova Scotia.
Yeah. If you love your Hello Kitty and you love Kiss, you can get Hello Kitty Kiss toilet paper.
Okay, that's amazing.
That is
Kasa
pretty good.
Ihanika.
Moshi
Who
moshi.
knew, Dan, who knew pooping
Yes?
could be so much fun?
It can be, especially in Detroit City. This one is very frightening. This is an Australian brand. It's first of all, it's sorbent because you can't have the word ab in it.
That is
And what?
way too
what is
close
that
to the Soylent.
Yeah, what is that kid doing with it? I don't get it. Why does a teddy bear have like
Yeah, bandage
a bandage
around.
of its?
Well,
it's
the kid
Australia.
has
Everything about Australia is terrifying.
it's probably like hiding the spiders coming out of the teddy bear, the giant like bloodthirsty spider, like Australian
Teddy
bloodthirsty
bear could
spiders.
probably kill you in Australia.
Teddy bear could definitely kill you in Australia. Yeah. Everything is deadly there.
This one, I love this one. This is actually, it's pretty honest advertising. It's Chiptagon. It's pedal pop, and it does
Why
what
candy
it's
coat it?
fantastic.
I like that one.
Chiptagon.
Sold.
This one. This toilet paper, just like the other Jubilee, this is But-
Read the fine
but-
print.
it's facial quality.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Dan, go back and get that roll of Google toilet paper. You'll figure it out.
Facial quality toilet paper.
Google that. Definitely don't do Google that at work for damn
Oh,
sure.
my God.
Yeah. And last one,
Oh, dear.
the worst toilet paper dispenser that you could possibly find. There you have it, folks.
Oh, it's a Chuck Tingler.
Hell. Oh my god.
That is a toilet paper dispenser that
Oh.
someone just decided to install somewhere. So yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. So these are terrible things I found on the web for all your toilet paper needs.
Well, I think that Google toilet paper is spectacular. That was a sweet find. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Good.
Okay, so with that, just looking at time here, maybe we'll skip the Cards Against Humanity tonight. Just because we're running a little bit long as usual here, so we'll skip over that. Hope nobody's too upset by that.
I did a very good set of answers, but that's okay.
Okay, that's okay.
I made myself laugh.
We could. There's plenty of material tonight for that. Well, we can finish off with the Wayback Machine, but before we can do that, we can do a quick round of comments here, and before we go back into time, 1975. But Dan, on the YouTube, do we have anything going on there? Or?
Just refreshing now. Dun, 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 dun. And the answer is web browser froze. Oh, we got one more. Another one from GC Storm 1. We have, if Cape Breton was Newfoundland, we could do a group hammock hang, and our friend Mike would be able to attend.
That is a super point.
That'd be fun. Carrie on avoidingchores.com, what we got?
Ooh, where?
Any comments?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Difficult for me. Probably not. Reloading.
Krista, anything on Twitter?
Yeah, Keith Elliott's been holding out on us. He has a situation in his garage.
It's all good now.
You had to take a shovel to a poor animal, Keith? You had to...
No, I left the door open because it was smoky out here from barbecuing. The chipmunk got in here at some point, and I helped him outside. He's alive.
It's good thing you got him out, because he would have destroyed your garage if he'd stayed in it.
They chew the shit
By the
out
way,
of it.
They chew everything. They're very super destructive.
in case we haven't heard anything yet, where is Vagina Rhino? We haven't heard from Vagina Rhino in a while, so just
Hibernate.
call
Hibernate.
out. Just a call
right.
out.
Have to see how that's doing here.
Carrie, any comments on avoiding chores?
Yeah, Mike's got a few comments here. So, first one says he's been listening to the new Best of Avoiding Chores podcast while at work this week. He says he really likes the new format and enjoys Jocelyn's beer review. Also, he says, regarding the Newfoundland map, that was just awful that they could actually print a map like that. It really makes my blood boil. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I get that.
You would think that someone would pick that mistake up. Maybe I'll drop over my next door neighbor, Kerry, on the first map, have a beer and laugh at how moronic that first map is. Yeah, you're right, Bluefin, we should do that. He's losing his connection quite often tonight, so we think he's going to say goodnight and get in bed. He has an early start in the morning. Great show as always, and you'll see us next week.
All right, thanks, Mike.
See you next week.
All right, let's do the last segment here, which is our Wayback Machine to the year 1975. 1975, you know what? Pretty disappointing year, I think.
Jimmy Hoffa disappears.
Where were you?
in 1975.
Where were you in 1975?
I was teething. Yeah, I was teething.
I thought it was pretty neat.
I was alive, but I wasn't really aware of it.
1975. Oh, you youngsters.
So,
the Vietnam War ends in 75.
well, it ends. It's never really ended.
Yeah, whatever.
We're still... Not we are.
The IRA was busy bombing and stuff.
Wheel of
The
Fortune debuted.
Wow. The U.S. carries out Vietnam Operation Baby Lift, bringing Vietnamese orphans to the U.S.
Yep.
The British Conservative Party chooses its first woman leader ever. And who would that be? Maggie Thatcher.
Maggie Thatcher. Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. who proceeded to then never accomplish anything.
And may I add, Paul Allen is the world's greatest supervillain.
What?
Because you ever follow his exploits? He
No.
is like a Bond villain. He has this
Yeah, he has-
globe-trotting yacht
Yeah.
that has another yacht embedded within it.
Yeah,
I
he has a
mean, this
yacht with
guy-
a yacht. That's a Chuck Tingle waiting to be written, if you ask me.
Basically, yeah. He is a Bond supervillain. You just wait. Just wait.
He owns 10 sports teams.
Yep.
NASA launches the Viking 1 probe to Mars.
He owns the Seahawks. He almost won the Super Bowl. He didn't.
Bic launches the
first
first
episode.
disposable razor.
Did I say that Queen and the album that Bohemian Rhapsody was on was released in 1975?
Ooh, well, something really good happened in 1975.
One thing.
Saturday Night Live premiered.
Yep. The Thriller in Manila happened in 1975.
The
Sony. I was going to say Sony introduces the Betamax videotape, and JVC introduces the VHS in '75.
Yep.
Wow.
and one company learned a very valuable thing about licensing, and one did not.
Yep. One did not ever.
Ever.
Sony has never learned that lesson.
Nope.
Nope.
Jaws came out in 1975. An amazing movie that still stands to this day, which is quite a feat.
The Generalissimo Francisco Franco was starting to die, so he transferred control of Spain to the king, which probably doesn't matter a lot to you guys, but I find it interesting. Oh, and then he died. He died before the end of the year. Sorry, no, I was in like mid-August when I was.
That was
reading
very
And
anticlimactic.
then when I got to November, it was like, and died.
Motorola obtains patent for their first portable mobile phone.
Yes.
Looking at the charts on Billboard, number one song was by Captain and Tennille. Love Will Keep Us Together.
Oh, that's a good one.
Number two was Glenn Campbell's Rhinestone Cowboy.
That's also a good one. God, 1975 crushed it. Philadelphia Freedom, number 3. Hello. Fame, David Bowie.
Wow.
They got him a country boy. One of the best performances ever on the Muppets. Jive talking. Kung Fu fighting. Everybody was Kung Fu fighting.
Wow.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
In the Born This Year category, you've got Tiger Woods, Angelina Jolie, Kate Winslet, and my wife, Crystal Williams.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Really?
So 3 months and a woohoo.
Yeah, exactly. Movies for that year include, well, Jaws, The Towering Inferno, Young Frankenstein, The Godfather Part 2, Tommy, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, I'm still looking through music from 1975, and I'm like, I feel like 1975 is an underrated music year because it has all this like AM gold. It's like the early age of disco. It's like I'm going through. I'm like, I love 50% of the songs on this list easily.
It was a pretty fun time. I was 15 years old then, so
Yeah.
I was going in between rock and roll, the early rock and roll, to into the disco and into
like,
everything that was in between that.
In
It
the
was-
era of probably Elton John's best songwriting era. God.
Yeah, it was.
TV
And-
show Adam 12 ended after a 7-year run. Nobody
Yeah, that
remember
was-
Adam 12?
What show?
I
David.
Gonna have to YouTube it. I only remember the intro sequence. But a TV show that I remember, and I think you guys too, Space 1999.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Jeffersons started in 1975.
Yes.
Welcome Back, Kotter,
Yep.
Barney Miller.
Nice.
It was a
Barney
fun
Miller,
time.
great theme.
I think I gotta tell you something. It was a fun time. It was fun time growing up in 1975. It was simple, and we had a lot of fun.
Where where is the oh god, what was that song? That show of Fred Savage, The Wonder Years. Where is the Wonder Years type show for someone in Carrie's situation who would have been a teenager in the mid '70s? Because I just finished watching Mad Men, and Mad Men ends in late 1970, early 1971. And it's like after that, there was this whole other period of transformative social change. And that '70s show doesn't really get at it because that's like late '70s. But there was like this whole like mid.
With it all, it doesn't. It doesn't do any justice to that period of time at all.
Yeah, I feel like there's like that is a television opportunity waiting to be exploited.
Yeah, because
what is your Wonder Years, Carrie?
My Wonder Years are probably from 74 to 79. I'm going to say that because I was, like I said, I was 15 when I was in 75, 15, 16. But then shortly after that, 78, I joined the Army. So those are some pretty fun times of growing up. Getting away and doing things that we didn't. Like I said, put it this way. We did a lot of things we weren't supposed to do, but we didn't do anything really, really bad.
Yeah.
That's a
Not that you're going to admit to, right?
juicy statement. I just want to add two more notable TV shows for 1975. You've got Wonder Woman, came out in 1975, and Faulty Towers,
75 and 79, 2 seasons.
1975.
Okay.
Crazy.
A fan for anyone that watched a lot of PBS back in the 90s, whenever they did their fundraising, it's always Faulty Towers.
I had to endure a 5-hour Faulty Towers marathon on a bus one time between Melbourne and Sydney. It was horrible. After a while, it gets infuriating.
Yeah, so other than that, I don't know. I think we've kind of covered 75 pretty good. So I guess I stand corrected. There was a lot of cool stuff that happened in 75.
There was a lot of cool stuff.
There's a lot of good shows. I mean, you had MASH, Kojak, Columbo is in that time frame. Starsky and Hutch started in 75.
Now, a couple of things that's happening if we move towards the present, and we all have some Netflix, there are a number of shows or movies that are expiring in June. You know, every month licensing on certain movies kind of go away. But at the end of June, or June 1st, we'll have some movies going away. So there's a couple of big movies that are disappearing from Netflix for the next little while. There's really two of note: Silence of the Lambs and Taxi Driver.
Really?
They're disappearing.
That's okay. If anybody missed the Silence of the Lambs, I can act it out for them. Happy to help.
A couple other movies here that might be kind of interesting. I haven't watched, but the Oscar winner Triplets of Belleville. That's
that one's. You know what? That was really good. You should check that out.
Let's see.
Weird French animation.
Yeah, so I'll have to.
You just have to say French animation. You have to actually have weird in front of it.
No, parts of Triplets of Belleville gets pretty weird. So, but
no, but I mean, like, you don't have to specify weird when it's French animation. It has to have some weirdness to it.
Touche.
Or touchy. Is what to say.
Or if you're designing maps, toucha.
And that's about it. There's a bunch of other movies here, but those were the couple that kind of caught my eye in terms of.
By the way, anyone that's watching Netflix, if you have not watched Daredevil yet, watch it.
Oh, do I have to?
Daredevil.
No, it's good.
Oh,
it's
so
good.
good.
No, it's good.
Oh god. And it's only like 13 episodes.
Yeah, you can totally get through it in a weekend. No, it's good.
I'm not a superhero person. Before we jet off tonight, though, I want to take a minute to encourage everybody to look in on the internet tomorrow because Ireland had a referendum today to make a constitutional amendment to allow same-sex marriage. And there's been some pretty amazing stuff happening on the internet in support of those efforts. And one of them is probably one of the greatest things I've seen yet on Twitter, which is the hashtag Home to Vote, Home TOVOTE. And it was people that were coming back, Irish diaspora that were coming back to Ireland to vote in the referendum. And there are some pretty interesting stories, and there was one guy in particular that just found out last night that he was on the voters list and decided at the last minute to take the day off work and go back to Dublin from Edinburgh. And he had quite the epic journey, and he basically live tweeted it the whole way and just made it in under the wire and had the full thrust of the internet kind of cheering him on as that happened. So it was a pretty great day on the internet today for marriage equality in Ireland. Tomorrow, fingers crossed, it's going to be an even better day. But check out anything related to Ireland on Twitter tomorrow is going to be mental. So
don't we have our correspondent on the street over in Ireland right now?
No, she's back.
She's back.
Oh, she is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have they started posting the results, or we won't find
No,
out until...
they don't start the count until tomorrow morning. So they'll start the count around 5 o'clock in the morning our time, and then results will start probably mid-morning, I think.
Okay.
And then they're gonna get paper out of a hat that says "gay" or "not gay."
Yeah, they're gonna flip a coin that has gay on one side and not gay on the other. If there's a tie, there won't be a tie, but
Actually, there'll be a moose on one side or a queen on the other side.
Well, it's
figure out
Ireland,
which one's
so
which.
yeah, exactly. There is unlike the UK general election that just happened, there was no exit polling done in Ireland, so nobody really knows what is going to happen other than these kind of random reports about voter turnout at polls. So they had 65-70% turnout in some places, higher in some places, lower in others. But it's going to be a pretty interesting day on the internet, and this is one of those things that is very generational, and a lot of that played out on social media. So it'll be hopefully a really wonderful historic day in Ireland tomorrow.
Looking forward to seeing the trending hashtag on Twitter pop up again tomorrow.
But if you want to have some feelings now that you've had a few beers, go look on Twitter for hashtag Home to Vote, and it is just unbelievable. Like I look at it and I try to imagine a scenario in Canada where something like that would happen, and I don't have one.
There is none. There is no political will of any person here.
Yeah. Well, go look at it. Go look at it. It'll melt your giant crusty hearts.
Yes. All right, so with that, I think it's time for us to shut it down for another week. We've been at it for a while. Just a reminder, folks, if you are watching live, you want to start at the beginning. The replay will be about 10-15 minutes. The best of podcast version that Mike alluded to earlier will be out in a couple days. So you can go to your favorite podcast app, do a search for Avoiding Chores or Friday Night Hangout, and you'll be able to find it very easily that way. So I'd like to thank the panel. Great discussion tonight. Thank you, everybody who were commenting. We do this every Friday. And Krista, how do we end tonight?
Good meeting!
So long.